Did you know that nicotine addiction is one of the hardest addictions to break, even harder than heroin or cocaine? This might come as a surprise. After all, cigarettes and vaping are often seen as vices, not life-altering addictions. But the truth is, nicotine's grip on the brain is powerful and insidious. Nicotine, a naturally occurring chemical in tobacco plants, doesn't just impact our lungs, it hijacks our brains. When inhaled, nicotine enters the bloodstream and rapidly reaches the brain, triggering a cascade of chemical reactions. This leads to a surge of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This feeling of pleasure is fleeting, however, leading to repeated nicotine use in a bid to chase the initial high. This is where the danger lies. The brain, constantly flooded with nicotine, adipates to its presence. It starts needing nicotine to function normally. This is how dependence develops, and with it comes withdrawal symptoms when nicotine levels drop. These symptoms, including anxiety, irritability, and intense cravings, can be overwhelming, making quitting extremely difficult. Nicotine's effects on the brain are complex, but understanding them is key to understanding addiction. When nicotine reaches the brain, it binds to receptors called nicotinic acetylcholine receptors. These receptors are found throughout the brain, including areas involved in mood, attention, and memory. The binding of nicotine to these receptors triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This dopamine surge is what makes nicotine so addictive. It creates a pleasurable feeling that makes the user want to repeat the behavior. However, the effects of nicotine go beyond dopamine. Nicotine also affects other neurotransmitters, such as glutamate and GABA. Glutamate is involved in learning and memory, while GABA has calming effects. By altering the balance of these neurotransmitters, nicotine can disrupt various brain functions, leading to cognitive impairments and mood swings. The brain, constantly bombarded with nicotine, adapts to its presence. It becomes dependent on nicotine to function normally. This dependence is what makes quitting so difficult. When nicotine levels drop, the brain goes into withdrawal, leading to a host of unpleasant symptoms. Nicotine addiction is a complex interplay of physical and psychological factors. The physical aspects are driven by nicotine's effects on the brain, while the psychological aspects are equally powerful. The body becomes accustomed to nicotine's presence. When levels drop, withdrawal symptoms set in, leading to cravings and irritability. These symptoms can drive individuals back to nicotine use. Psychologically, addiction is intertwined with habits and social situations. Many smokers associate smoking with activities like drinking coffee or socializing. Nicotine addiction can impact mental health, leading to depression and anxiety. Addiction isn't just a failure of willpower. Nicotine hijacks the brain's reward pathways, creating intense cravings. Cravings are powerful urges driven by the brain's need for nicotine. When levels drop, the brain triggers cravings to restore balance. These cravings come with symptoms like headaches and nausea. The discomfort makes it hard to resist smoking. Understanding cravings is key to effective treatments. We need interventions that help manage cravings and support quitting. Section 5. New Horizons in Treatment, Medications and Therapies. Quitting nicotine is a Herculean task, but it is not insurmountable. Science has provided us with a growing arsenal of tools to combat nicotine addiction, offering hope and support for those seeking to break free. Nicotine Replacement Therapy, or NRT, is one such tool. Available in various forms such as patches, gum and lozenges, NRT provides controlled doses of nicotine without the harmful chemicals found in cigarettes. This helps alleviate withdrawal symptoms and cravings, making it easier to quit. Medications like bupropion, also known as Wellbutrin, and varenicline, known as Chantix, work by targeting nicotine receptors in the brain. Bupropion reduces cravings and withdrawal symptoms, while varenicline blocks the rewarding effects of nicotine, making smoking less pleasurable. Behavioral therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, are also highly effective. CBT helps individuals identify and change the thoughts and behaviors that contribute to their addiction. It equips them with coping mechanisms to manage cravings and avoid triggers. Section 6. Real stories, real triumphs, breaking free from nicotine. Behind the science are real people touched by nicotine addiction. Take Sarah, for instance, a pack-a-day smoker for over a decade. The cravings were intense, the withdrawal symptoms overwhelming. Diagnosed with early-stage lung cancer, Sarah knew she had to change. With her doctor's support, she started NRT and CBT. It wasn't easy, but she persevered. Today, Sarah is cancer-free and smoke-free for 5 years. Millions have broken free from nicotine's grip. Section 7, the future of addiction treatment, personalized approaches. The field of addiction treatment is constantly evolving, with new research paving the way for more effective and personalized interventions. Scientists are delving deeper into the genetic and environmental factors that contribute to addiction, aiming to develop tailored treatments that address the unique needs of each individual. One promising area of research is pharmacogenetics, which explores how an individual's genes influence their response to medications. By analyzing a person's genetic makeup, doctors can predict their likelihood of success with different medications and tailor treatment plans accordingly. Another area of focus is the development of vaccines for nicotine addiction. These vaccines work by stimulating the immune system to produce antibodies that bind to nicotine, preventing it from reaching the brain. While still in clinical trials, nicotine vaccines hold promise for long-term prevention and relapse prevention. Furthermore, advancements in brain imaging technology are providing unprecedented insights into the neural mechanisms underlying addiction. This knowledge is helping researchers develop novel therapies that target specific brain circuits involved in cravings, reward, and addiction. Section 8. The public health imperative, addressing nicotine addiction. Nicotine addiction is not just a personal struggle, it's a public health crisis with far-reaching consequences. The World Health Organization estimates that tobacco use kills more than 8 million people each year, making it one of the leading preventable causes of death worldwide. The economic burden of nicotine addiction is also staggering. The costs associated with healthcare, lost productivity, and premature death amount to trillions of dollars annually. These costs are borne not only by individuals and families, but also by society as a whole. Addressing nicotine addiction requires a multi-pronged approach that encompasses prevention, treatment, and policy interventions. Public health campaigns aimed at educating youth about the dangers of smoking, increasing tobacco taxes, and creating smoke-free environments have proven effective in reducing smoking rates. Moreover, expanding access to affordable and effective treatment options is crucial. This includes ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their socio-economic status or geographic location, have access to medications, therapies, and support services. Section 9. Breaking the stigma, fostering compassion and support. Despite the prevalence of nicotine addiction, it remains a stigmatized condition, often shrouded in shame and judgment. This stigma prevents individuals from seeking help, perpetuates misconceptions about addiction, and hinders efforts to address this public health crisis. It is imperative that we break down the stigma surrounding addiction and foster a culture of compassion and support. Addiction is not a moral failing, it's a complex medical condition that requires understanding and empathy. Educating the public about the science of addiction is crucial for dispelling myths and reducing stigma. When we understand that addiction is a disease that affects the brain, we can begin to view it through a lens of compassion rather than judgment. Creating supportive environments where individuals feel safe seeking help is equally important. This includes promoting open conversations about addiction, providing resources and support services, and challenging discriminatory attitudes and policies. Section 10, a call to action empowering individuals and communities. The fight against nicotine addiction requires a collective effort. It's a call to action for individuals, communities, and policymakers to work together to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to live a life free from addiction. For individuals struggling with nicotine addiction, remember that you are not alone. There is hope, and recovery is possible. Reach out for help, whether it's from a healthcare professional, a support group, or a loved one. Communities play a vital role in supporting individuals in recovery. By creating supportive environments, providing access to resources, and challenging stigma, communities can empower individuals to break free from addiction. Policymakers have a responsibility to implement evidence-based policies that reduce tobacco use and support addiction treatment. This includes increasing tobacco taxes, expanding access to affordable healthcare, and funding research into new and innovative treatment options. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against nicotine addiction. By working together, we can create a healthier future for all.